When it rains, it pours. The Phillies have been on the short end of this series with the visiting Braves, who are muddying things up heading toward the homestand finale. Frustration has set in on a struggling offense, but the page turns for one more divisional meeting with a chance to end Atlanta's breakout party. It's the perfect way to wrap up a homestand. Just laugh a little bit. Bring out Cookie Monster, Elmo, and the entire gang from Sesame Place. It's Melanoma Awareness Day here at Citizens Bank Park, and every fan getting that visor as they come to the yard today. It's also Weekends with Schmidt, presented by Acme Markets. It's the Phils and the Atlanta Braves, Game 3 of this series. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Ben Davis and Mike Schmidt. We get set for a finale of this homestand. The Phils are trying to finish up 5-4, and they're also trying to figure out how they can get their offense rolling. Now, this is a struggling offense. We know that, but the depths these last couple of days have been tough to swallow for this ball club.
Yes, they have. Atlanta Braves, I guess you might say the lowly team in the National League East, come in and beat us 2 straight. We'll see the graphic here in a minute of only scoring 1 run in 18 innings. Last night's game, we didn't get a guy to second base. This is not something, Tommy, that we haven't seen on occasion over the last couple years. You know, we have, I've talked about coaching, I've talked about leadership, I've talked about changing something mechanically for each of our hitters to try and get it going. You know what? Maybe there is no answer other than, and you see the graphic on the board right here, there's the 1 run, the average, which is not too good. Maybe it's nothing other than these guys are major league hitters. They have to be confronted with the idea that they got to figure out a way to get better. They got to figure out, and it's on them. Sometimes it's actually on them.
Well, that's one thing Freddie Galvis said after last night's ballgame. His quotes are actually very poignant, and he said that it's all 9 guys. Now, one of those 9 guys has actually contributed quite nicely, and that's Tyler Goeddel, who's got a couple hits in this series, and he's starting to pick it up over the last several weeks.
He really has picked it up, and it's nice to know that your name is going to be in the lineup. 23-year-old kid. In the beginning of the year, he really didn't play a whole lot, but now he's getting the chance to play every day, and he's doing it with his glove, he's doing it with his legs, and of course he's doing it with his bat, and it's nice to see that he stuck with it. You know, he didn't get down on himself, but he's using the whole field. He was able to hit a home run the other night, and I think it's really a sign of great things to come for Tyler Goeddel.
Well, he was asked what was better, the first home run in the big leagues or that throw to Cameron Rupp to get the final out of the ball game. He said, you know, the home run, which we're looking at right here, because that was pretty sweet, but that throw was something I will always remember. That's pretty special.
To end a ball game that way was something I haven't seen in seems like an eternity, and he's doing it. Take a look at the average, 429, the 1 homer, 4 RBIs. The slugging percentage is good, but the on-base percentage, that's what I like to see, him getting on base and using those wheels, because the dude can flat out roll.
159 batting average. He'll start today with a 264 average. That's what it was at the beginning of the homestand and here at the end of the homestand. It will be Casey Kelly back from the minor leagues making the start for the Atlanta Braves, and Jerad Eickhoff, who is tied for the league lead in losses with 6. He did not have a good outing a couple of times ago against the Atlanta Braves. He is trying to continue to figure things out and pick up win number 2. Well, throughout the course of this series, we've seen some excellent defense, not only by the Phillies, but also by the Braves. Ender Inciarte's made a couple of exceptional plays. Same with Nick Markakis and Tyler Goeddel. We'll get to lineups and first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. Get a great deal on your favorite Toyota during the Toyota Time Sales Event. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank. The next time you have a question about money, don't keep it to yourself. Ask a citizen. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IVX.com. redundant here in the Delaware Valley. Let's take a look at the Braves lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Inciarte, d'Arnaud, and Freddie Freeman. And then the middle of the order has Markakis, Gordon Beckham, who's been good in this series, and A.J. Pierzynski. And the bottom third of Daniel Castro, Casey Kelly, who starts today, and Malik Smith. And they will face right-hander Jared Eickhoff. Eickhoff is 1-6 on the year, an ERA of 4.44. His numbers, Ben, have been surprising because he was so good at the end of last year, and he's had a couple of innings each outing that have been his problem spot. His last time against the Braves, he just couldn't get a ball by them.
No, he could not, and he got a lot of elevated fastballs, and hopefully that's something he can remedy today. I did like fastball command in his last outing. Take a look at the scouting report. It'll sit right about 91 miles an hour. 4-pitch pitcher. We all know about the big curveball, hitting just .094 against the breaking ball. All
right, let's get right to the Nissan keys to the game because Jared Eickhoff is all ready to go. Guys, what do you think for today?
For me, it's I'm on the old look in the mirror routine. You know, each guy, like we talked about in the opening, each guy has to look in the mirror and decide what he's got to do to make himself better as a hitter. They're major league hitters, and you know this prolonged slump is just something I guess you got to take personally. You can't look around at other people. You might want to change your routine a little bit.
Yeah. First pitch is over for a strike. It's 0-1 to Inciarte. How about you, Ben?
Mine was for Jared Eickhoff to use all his pitches. Yes, that curveball is awesome, but he's got to throw all four.
Inciarte is jammed. Cesar Hernandez, Freddie Galvis. It's Galvis who makes the call on the catch. One away. Nice quick out there for Jared Eickhoff.
I don't think Jared Eickhoff has thrown as bad as his record indicates. For me personally, I mean, I've watched most of his games on TV, and I don't think we've had an Eickhoff game here with me on the weekend, but on TV he's looked superb to me. I know he's lost some close games, but his stuff, you know, stuff-wise, Ben, he doesn't have, what is it, 1-6?
1-6.
He does not have 1-6 stuff.
No. I think Tom hit the nail on the head when he said that it's just been one inning per start over the last couple starts that's really gotten him.
Well, the other part of it, too, is that the Phillies don't score runs for him, more so than every other starter. There's a good slider, and it's 0-2 to Chase d'Arnaud.
Now, that is a pitch we saw him throw more in his last outing, was that slider.
d'Arnaud 3 for 5 so far in this series. And he gets the fastball in on him, and it remains 0-2. Before his last start, Jared Eickhoff and Bob McClure worked on his mechanics and worked on getting on top of the baseball a little bit more as he was delivering it to the plate. Whereas against the Braves, they felt like he was just fighting it uphill a little bit. Upstairs, 1-2.
Say, just from a pitch standpoint, for me, he threw him a slider on the 0-1 pitch. He missed it by a yard. I think you're doing him a favor if you then try an inside fastball right off of that.
Yes.
Off of that slider. See, there's the pitch. 2 pitches ago, I think he should have gone to. He should have gone to that pitch on an 0-2 count. Why not? You know, let's see if he'll flail at the 0-2 slider as well as he did the 0-1 slider. But if you throw and we got the strikeout, no doubt about it. Here it is. But you know, you threw 2 fastballs to get to that pitch,
right?
Which I don't think you needed. I think you're doing him a favor by throwing him an inside fastball.
I guess it's kind of like what we talk about when guys are dominating with their fastball. Why then throw a changeup?
It's almost like, well, I can't throw that pitch twice in a row, and before I can throw that strikeout pitch, I need to show him the other pitch. It's almost like the strikeout pitch won't work unless I show him the fastball.
Freddie Freeman's the batter. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Freeman. Freeman 3 for 8 in this series, and he fouls it back to the screen.
There's something about Freddie Freeman that we're looking at him and we're going, these guys are going, he has to be pitched inside. Doesn't it seem like we think that he has to be pitched inside?
Up and inside. Ball needs to be elevated.
Well, that ball was elevated.
I mean, these balls are right next to his body, and he's turning on it. And he hit an inside fastball off of Nola for a home run already.
Yes, I think it's what we talked about the other day with Tyler Goodell when they were pounding him inside. Was he recognizing it? And he probably wasn't, whereas Freddie Freeman is recognizing that that's what they're doing, so he's opening up and trying to get that inside fastball.
Yeah. For me, if a hitter stands close to the plate, he's saying, I want the ball in, because when you stand close to the plate, you know that's what they're thinking. You're standing close to the plate because you know you're comfortable on the ball in.
And a strike 3 called with the curveball, his first one of the day.
He just buckled a lefty.
Yes, he did. Nothing across for the Atlanta Braves. An excellent start for Jerad Eickhoff. He picks up a couple of strikeouts along the way. Does one with a slider and then one with this nasty one. It rolls right off the table. We'll go to the bottom of the first. It's the Braves nothing and the Phillies coming up. Dugout as they get ready to hit for the first time. Maikel Franco getting himself all ready to go. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. The new Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Herrera, Hernandez, and Franco, followed by Tommy Joseph starting against the right-hander and Cameron Rupp batting 5th. Freddie Galvis will hit 6th. The bottom third of Tyler Goodell, Jerad Eickhoff, Peter Borges. And they will face right-hander Casey Kelly, 26-year-old. Who was originally drafted by the Red Sox as an infielder/pitcher. We'll get to that in a little bit. Traded to the Padres and then eventually traded to the Braves. He's making his second appearance in the big leagues this year. Odubel was 0 for 11. 0 for his last 11. And he takes a pitch on the inside corner. All right, Ben, what do we know about Casey Kelly?
He'll be right at about 90 miles an hour, 4-pitch pitcher. Like you had mentioned, he was a first-round pick of those Red Sox in 2008. But very good command. In, out, up, down.
Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. He is a graduate of the Tommy John surgery. And prior to that, there are scouts that thought that he was a surefire starting pitcher in the big leagues. And he's still working his way back from the remnants of Tommy John surgery. Two balls and 1 strike to Herrera, who's 0 for 7 in the series. It's all part of that 0 for his last 11. Lines that one out toward left center field. On the run is Mallex Smith. Man, he can fly, but he cannot get it. And Odubel will pull into second with a leadoff double.
That's a good start right there.
I can't believe that ball was even that close to being caught.
How about how fast that guy got after it?
That would have been caught if it wasn't for that wind. See that wind? See, those flags are blowing from right field to left field and kept pushing the ball away from Smith, who still almost caught it.
Odubel with a tremendous bat flip there on a ball that goes out to left center. But he does lose his balance just a little bit, making sure that ball gets down. Got to find that bag.
I think he was trying to watch the play out there, hoping that it wasn't caught. But that's a good start. Get the man to second base.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday there wasn't one Phillies base runner that got to second base. Here's Cesar Hernandez. He's been known to bunt a time or two. As Odubel leads off second. Cesar takes outside, 1-0.
Why not?
Well, I don't like it here. I don't like the bunt here because you only have 27 outs. The Phillies offense is struggling. Why give up an out? He's already in scoring position. It's the first inning. You know, maybe trade places with him. Maybe you hit a double yourself. The very worst, Have to move him over, though.
Fly ball to center field. Smith will head back. Odubel's tagging. Smith will make the catch, and Herrera's on his way to third. And he's there standing. So he did get him over.
It's a very nice job.
That'll bring Maikel Franco to the plate. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. We'll get him over, now get him in. That will be Maikel Franco's job. And, you know, it's been a little bit of a struggle for Franco. Mike, you started off the broadcast by talking about having to look in the mirror and try to figure out what you can do better to help this offense. Obviously, he is the focal point of this offense. He has struggled. Look at his numbers at home here at Citizens Bank Park. Just 198 on the season and the 1 home run, hitting much better on the road. Pete Mackanin talked a little bit about that the other day, saying, you know, at this point, he does think he is pressing just a bit, maybe feeling the pressure, having to be the guy in this offense that drives in the run. So he just wants him to relax, do what he can do, and try to come out of this 2-week slump that he has been in. So we'll see if Franco's able to do that today, guys.
Well, he's ahead 1 ball, no strikes. I thought Freddie Galvis said it best last night about Maikel Franco and even Ryan Howard. He said, we don't have to put all of this on someone's shoulders. He said, this is a team. 9 guys go to bat, and everyone has to do something to win some games. It's not all about, and he talked about Maikel. He said it's not all about Maikel, and it's not all about Ryan Howard. Swing and a miss. He got him with a change up there. It's 1-2.
Those are all good points, Murph. I'd like to go back to Hernandez's at bat real quick. Fly ball, got the runner over, job well done. But that you know, you're just a fraction of an inch on the bat from a ball being popped up to shortstop or short center. That ball needs to be pulled. A good 2-hole hitter in that situation will look for a ball to hook to the right side of the field. You know what I'm saying? The ground ball to the second baseman, you have to pull that ball in that instant. I know we got away with a long fly ball, but the ball was not hit to a part of the field where it should have been hit.
Inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, I only bring that up because those are the little things that create situations like we've been in. Not being able to score for 18 innings.
Yeah.
We were so close right there to not getting that runner over. Does that make sense? Or
Yes.
should I just be focusing on the bottom line that the hit ball got him over?
Well, that one is hit out toward left field. It's probably not going to be deep enough to score Herrera. Inciarte makes the catch. And there are 2 outs. So that's an interesting question, because in my mind I would think, all right, well, the bottom line is he did get over to third, but you're right. It was a fraction of an inch from not getting him over to third.
You're exactly right. Now, if he pulls the ball to the right side, anywhere, anything hit to the right side automatically moves the runner from second to third.
Right. But Gene Mauch would have bunted.
I don't think that would be a bad play myself. I mean, he's become very adept at dropping that bunt for a base hit. What's wrong with that? Take a bunt with you. Take it, you know, hook it toward the first baseman on the ground.
Well, here's Tommy Joseph with a runner at third and 2 outs, trying to get a run home. Playing against the right-hander today, and Pete talked about it yesterday after the game that he would most likely start Tommy today. And the way it looks like it's going to work in Detroit is that Tommy will play first base and Ryan Howard will be the DH, as Markakis will make the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position. On to the second, scoreless between the Phillies and the Braves. They'll spend Memorial Day here at Citizens Bank Park against the Washington Nationals. It's the start of a 3-game series that wraps up on the 1st of June. All 3 games are night games, and tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Currently, the Nationals are 2 games ahead of the Phillies in the National League East. The Mets are in 2nd place. Phillies sitting in 3rd place right now. As we head to the top of the 2nd, Nick Markakis will be the batter. Markakis hits a fair ball down the first base line. Pretty comfortable and easy play for Tommy Joseph. 1 out. There are the standings. The Mets a 1.5 back. Aside from the Braves, it's a pretty tight division.
Sure is.
That's a beautiful thing, isn't it? 1 pitch, 1 little rollout to first base.
Yeah, he's got 4 outs in this game and 13 pitches. And here's Gordon Beckham. Beckham, a former 1st-round pick of the Chicago White Sox. In fact, he was drafted in the 1st round in 2008. And then some picks later, Casey Kelly was drafted by the Boston Red Sox in the 1st round. His teammate today. Outside. That was the same draft that produced Buster Posey for the San Francisco Giants, who was picked 5th. Off the glove of Eichhoff. Hernandez gets to it. 2 outs.
Nice play by Cesar just to go ahead and use the glove on that ball, knowing he had a little bit of time with Beckham. He's not a burner by any means, but Cesar doing a good job using that glove. Coming here and barehanded, there's always room for error, but nice job to use the glove.
Excuse me, Ben. I wonder if that ball would have gone right up the middle if Eichhoff didn't tip it because of the way Cesar was shaded.
It could have.
A.J. Pierzynski's now the batter. Pierzynski hitting .209. Takes a curve. Philly starters are still collectively the major league leaders in percentage of curveballs thrown in a game. They throw it just over 24% of the time. On 1 hop out towards 2nd. 20 pitches through 2 innings for Jared Eichhoff. That was an 8-pitch inning. 6 up, 6 down. On to the bottom of the 2nd. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band are coming back to Philadelphia now for 2 shows at Citizens Bank Park, Wednesday, September 7th, and now added Friday, September 9th. Tickets for the September 9th show will go on sale Wednesday at 10 a.m. through Phillies.com/Springsteen or by calling 215-463-1000. First concert I saw was the Born in the USA tour with the Vet. I think he's in Spain right now performing. As Cameron Rupp takes outside, we begin the bottom of the second. Cameron hits it down the right field line. It is gone! Just inside the fair ball. He's got some pop the opposite way. And the Phillies take a 1-0 lead.
Just thinking to myself before that pitch, Cameron's been good the last couple games in using the whole field and trusting himself. He's a big, strong man. You can do that. It makes hitting a lot easier knowing you can let balls get deep in the strike zone. Good, strong base.
That's definitely strength. Epitome of strength right there. Right-hander going the opposite way. Now remember, the wind's blowing in from right field. And he snuck it inside the fair pole, as Tommy called it.
Galvis takes outside.
Cameron Rupp has got great basics as a hitter. You know what I mean? I think he is only going to get better.
Well, he just won $300 for Judy Ruck of Coplay, Pennsylvania. Is that right, Ben? McDonald's home run jackpot. I never heard of Coplay.
I haven't either. Good luck, Judy. Way to go, Judy.
Yep. Congratulations to Judy on picking up 300 smackaroos. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Freddie Galvis. Well, you guys both thought that the Friday night game, Cameron showed a pretty good approach and also a pretty good swing.
He sure did. He hit a couple balls hard. I think he singled up the middle and he doubled. His spray chart's a nice looking one right now. It's starting to color up more consistently to all fields. And there's nothing wrong with that, man. Become a Tony Perez kind of hitter. You know, back in my day, one of the great hitters in the league off the Cincinnati Reds was not Joe Morgan, not Johnny Bench, so they were their Hall of Famers, but it was Tony Perez. Doggie's the guy that used the entire field, hit that breaking ball to right center. And if you believe that there are a lot of hits out there to right field and right center as a right-hand hitter, man, you can do some damage, but you got to trust it.
Tyler Goodell lines one to center field. Mallex Smith will not get it. It's going to go to the deepest part of the ballpark. And Goodell on his way to second, stutters a little bit, running to third. Here's the throw to third. It's offline. And what a backup by Casey Kelly. He just saved that ball from going into the dugout. It's a triple for Tyler Goodell.
Yeah, Ben was motioning to me as he was rounding first. Watch this boy run. You know, he was doing his little 2 fingers run. And, you know, it's great that Goodell knew there was 1 out. Probably had that in the back of his mind. 1 out. Now I'm going to try to get to third on this bad boy. It would have been close. It would have been close with a good relay throw, but you can take a chance with 1 out.
I love the play. Love that play. That ball just it went into a different gear over Mallex Smith's head out there in center field. He did kind of stutter. Would have been close at third, but how did Casey Kelly
That's an
save
incredible
that
backup. That's an incredible backup.
The right spot at the right time.
Well, they say he's a tremendous athlete. As we mentioned, the Red Sox took him as a infielder / pitcher. Eichhoff chops it to short. Flag down by Castro. With the infield in, 2 outs. And Peter Borges is coming up.
Wow, if we wouldn't have hit our pitcher 8.
Well, we've been discussing that over the last week or so about whether it's had any effects on the Phillies. And, you know, and no offense to Peter Borges, but he's a 193 hitter. I don't know if it's had any effect. If you had a different, let's say if Carlos Ruiz was the number 8 hitter from back when the Phillies were winning all those divisional championships, then maybe it would be a difference. I don't know if it's had a difference.
By the way, the Braves are doing the same thing today.
They are. And they've been doing it with Mallex Smith. They like him in the 9 hole. That's why they do it.
I guess you got to ask Pete. You know, you have to ask Pete. What is the reason for that? It must be a reason, because a lot of very smart major league managers. There you go.
Back through the middle, a base hit for Borges. He hung in there on that breaking ball. RBI single, 2-0 Phillies.
It's just that simple. Right? To get an RBI, you hang in on the breaking ball, like Tommy said. You just hit a little ground ball right up the middle. RBI, 2-0.
2-out tallies. They are a thing of beauty.
These guys are a scoring machine, baby.
He does flinch just a hair, but able to get the barrel on it and shoot up the middle. Now, Peter was very frustrated last couple days.
Big time, yeah.
And he's not a guy that really, shows his emotion by any means. And he's been frustrated the last couple days. Nice to see him go out there and do something about it.
Here's Odubel, who doubled his first time up. And Peter Bourjos just gets back. Freddie Freeman pointed to the dugout. The Braves were 0 for their first 10 in challenges, but they've won a couple of challenges in this series. The grounds crew, and Ben mentioned it before during yesterday's game, they did an unbelievable job getting this field ready, but there is a lot of diamond dry on the field. I can't tell whether his fingertips are on the bag or not, but it does look like he's out.
Yeah, it's a different color infield, isn't it?
Yeah. They are not going to challenge it, so they must have felt like there was not enough to overturn it.
And they teach you to dive back towards the corner of that bag. Looks like he missed that corner, was going down the sidewall of the bag.
Well, they must have seen something that we didn't pick up. I think I would have rolled the dice on that one. Maybe they thought it was inconclusive. 0-1 to Odubel. Grounds crew used about, what'd you say, Ben, about 120 bags of diamond dry?
That's what the last count was. That's what I heard.
That's a lot of diamond dry. The diamond dry is the stuff that we saw them putting down yesterday, trying to absorb some of the moisture, but they also used it today to try to soak up the remaining moisture. It rained again today.
They will have to go back out and take that layer of, almost like a kitty litter.
Yeah.
The diamond dry, take that layer back off the field.
This is another good running situation. We had the same situation last night. I believe Lowe was on first base, but the old downside to getting thrown out right now is Odubel can lead off the next inning, and the upside is he gets in scoring position.
See if he does take a chance and run on that right there. That's what they're running in right now.
How much is pouring out of there?
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike to Odubel. Bourjos does not go on the pitch inside. 2-1.
Speaking of running and playing in mud, you happen to see the Preakness yesterday.
It's kind of the same look.
Oh, man.
No Triple Crown this year.
Those two horses had run, I think, what, 8 times prior
Correct.
against each other. And
the first time. Yep. First time that is it Nyquist?
Yeah,
yes.
The first time he beat Nyquist.
Odubel getting a little bit more of the Manny Mota stick on his bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Bourjos inches off first. Just trying to stay alive.
Did you use that, Mike?
Yes.
Manny Mota stick?
I didn't cake it on my bat.
Right.
Crazy. Just a little bit.
Never use just the pine tar rag with the rosin?
For sure.
I preferred that to the Manny Mota stick. Sometimes I notice on cold days I'd have to use the stick.
I don't know how long they're going to continue to let Odubel go back to the on-deck circle for more stick him during that. Wasn't there a rule about that?
Well, the umpire has to ask the umpire if he can do it. And Bourjos is back again ahead of the tag.
We still haven't run in this situation. I'm so surprised that we didn't take a chance on getting down to second base. It's a perfect count.
Bourjos has stolen 2 bags this year. Hernandez waits on deck. Three balls and 2 strikes. Well, now he'll be off and running. Freeman will signal that he's going to play behind him. He'll be in the general area. He just showed Peter Bourjos how far Bourjos could go. So this is where I'm going to play. This is as far as you can go. Threw him a changeup 3-2.
That's another one of those old baseball. What would you call them? You call it a rule,
Unwritten rule or rule?
where Freeman's playing right now would be no different than holding him on, right?
Particularly with his skills as a defender. Right.
Yeah. Now, what would be the difference in backing up? You know, back up 8 or 10 feet. Play your normal position.
I would back up.
Yeah, well, I mean, why is that little pat playing? What is the difference in playing right there and holding him on?
Yeah, I would, particularly with his skills. He moves well. And Bourjos is probably going to take the same lead.
Exactly.
Yes.
He's not going to take any different lead. And you know what? If you want to jump in there and put a pickoff on or something, you're better off doing it from further back.
Right. He can only take as much as he's going to give you.
Bourjos goes again. 3-2 is outside, ball 4. So Odubel draws the walk. That keeps the inning alive. It's a 9-pitch at bat for a guy that's averaging 4.34 pitches per plate appearance. That'll help his average again. And now Cesar Hernandez, who flied out to center. Roger McDowell is going out.
Odubel was so upset that he didn't get a pitch to hit there. His body language was like, couldn't you throw one a little closer for me?
There is McDowell coming out.
Roger took 16 seconds just to get out there.
Yeah, he's got.
He only had 14 to talk.
He's got a poignant message, Ben, that he's going to throw out there. Rob Drake's coming out to break up the conversation. Monday morning, the Bob Crew continues the Sixers' Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram debate. Plus, they look ahead to a tough Phil's road trip. Breakfast on Broad, presented by Virtua. Weekday morning starting at 6 on TCN, the Comcast network. Rob Drake is giving Roger McDowell a little extra slack. Looks like he said something to McDowell too as he walked away, and he's shaking his head as he's coming back behind home plate, and Roger's not even paying him any mind.
I bet you that had something to do with Odubel getting some of that Manny Mota stick and not getting in the box. I would not be surprised. Would not at all.
Breaking ball, and it's 0-1 to Cesar.
There's another one out there, Cesar. You can find a gap here. There's 2 more out there. 2 guys that can really motor.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Nationals 3, Marlins nothing. That game's at the bottom of the 3rd. Daniel Murphy has an RBI single, and Ben Revere is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. That trade is working out for the Nationals because the Blue Jays are not pleased with Drew Storen right now. There's a broken back grounder right back to the box. Side is retired. 2 runs in for the Phils. The home run by Cameron Rupp. The RBI single by Peter Bourjos. Let's take a look at this swing by Cameron Rupp. That's right, going the other way. You got to look out for that one. That was smoked. 2-0 Phils as we go to the 3rd. for Jeep Stump the Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. Please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, guys, here's the question. Who holds the Atlanta Braves record for most triples in one season? Most triples in one season.
I have someone in mind.
I know.
You know for sure?
No, but I got a good guess.
Say it with confidence, boys. Daniel Castro leads it off. Castro hitting a .198. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got to think of his name. See his face.
Castro loses his bat as the ball hits the screen. The bat hits the brick wall. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. So he'll put a little bit more of that Manny Mota stick on, and then Bob McClure will come out.
Manny Mota's getting a lot of hits here today.
Yes, he is. Curveball.
Would his last name be Redding by any chance?
Redding? No.
Could his first name be Otis?
That's an excellent guess. It is not the right answer.
I knew it was a good guess. Doggone it.
It is not Otis Nixon.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the first name that came to mind.
That's a really good guess. There remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Castro. Will be followed by Casey Kelly and Malik Smith here in the top of the 3rd. Opposite way. Here comes Borges, and he can't play it in the air. He picks it on 1 hop. And that's the first hit of the afternoon for the Braves.
So close, he gets to it almost. Lucky that ball didn't get by him, but
Look how frustrated Peter was after he didn't come up with it. Let's check in with Greg Murphy with our cold hard fact. Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. It's brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light, and the Phils in a position right now for a shutdown inning. That's what they're looking for, and when you know it, they are leading the National League in shutdown innings percentage-wise. They've had 86 opportunities, 69 of them. They've been able to shut down the opponent. That's good for 80%, followed by the Cubs, the Marlins, the Mets, and Cardinals. So that's an important part of winning games and winning series, is being able to score some runs and then shut them down the next inning. So we'll see if the Phils are able to do that.
Maikel Franco will field this bunt. The sacrifice is successful. I think that's such a credit to this pitching staff, which has really enabled the Phillies to be where they are right now at 5 games over 500. You know, they don't score a whole lot of runs, but when they do score, they have to keep the other team off the board, obviously. And it's a credit not only to the starting staff, but I think also the back of the bullpen, Hernandez, Neris, and Genmar Gomez. Those guys, too, because they've scored late in a lot of these games.
You're 100% correct in that. They have scored late, and that's a credit to those guys right there. Also, the catchers putting down the right fingers, of course.
All right, and the third baseman for fielding their position. Malik Smith, the hitter. He takes inside, 1 ball, no strikes.
And the Braves for hitting the pitcher 8th.
Yep. Fly ball, center field. The wind takes Odubel into shallow left center. 2 away, and now Ender Inciarte is coming up. Inciarte popped out his first time up. Phillies have had a lot of success with Odubel Herrera and Tyler Goeddel as Rule 5 picks. Ender Inciarte several years ago was a Rule 5 pick for the Phillies and lingered through spring training, appeared on the roster for 1 game before he was sent back to the Arizona Diamondbacks, and then eventually became an all-star that year in Double-A. And as it turns out, he's a pretty good player. Just Probably wasn't ready for the majors when they got him. Takes a curve for a strike. It's 0-1. But a great story, his first day with the Phillies, he wasn't sure what time he was supposed to arrive, so he arrived at 5 a.m. down in Clearwater. And who did he meet? The first person he walked in to meet was Charlie Manuel, because Charlie was there at 5 a.m. and Charlie had no idea who he was. So he brought him into the coach's office and had some coffee with them while they waited. And then finally folks started arriving and they told Charlie who he was. So Ender then was able to get settled in the clubhouse. But he didn't want to be late that first day because it was his first day with the Phillies.
He's having a cup of Joe with Chuck.
Out to right field. Peter Borges waits. And the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. It is another shutdown inning for the Phillies pitching staff. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd here in South Philadelphia. You buy your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit DelValHondaDealers.com. Buy WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And buy your local Ford stores. Although we do not have meteorology as part of our resume, we do understand as we leave town, the weather is supposed to get better this week. As Maikel Franco fouls the first pitch off to the right. So Ben, while you're back here in the Delaware Valley, and Schmitty, while you're up in the New England area, you're going to get better weather from what we understand.
Cool. As soon as this little front gets through.
That's right.
New England, yes, it's supposed to be really nice.
0-2 to Franco, who flied to left his first time up. Lays off. Franco is now 2 for his last 17 as he faces Casey Kelly here. They have the shift on. Daniel Castro, the shortstop, is able to throw him out.
Franco was on that breaking ball. It was a good one to hit. Just happened to broke it right at the shortstop.
Phillies fans, next time you want to grab Phillies seats, get the StubHub app. Not only will you find seats you'll love whenever you want, you can find the best seat for your buck when you sort by best value. We take the price and location of seats and show you which tickets at StubHub give you the best deal. So get the StubHub app today. Calls that one foul. It's 1-2.
That 1-0 pitch Tommy swung at, that slider. And I said, there's a pitch that I would never have swung at. I might check swing it if I read fastball out of the pitcher's arm, but 1-0,
right?
The slider starting at the plate, breaking off the plate. And you take a wave at that, aren't you doing the pitcher a favor?
Yeah, that's what he wants you to do.
Pulls it foul past Juan Samuel. Curveball popped up. Pierzynski has trouble with these pop-ups and makes the catch. 2 outs.
He's got 2 in a row.
He's got 2 in a row. I don't know what it is, Ben. I mean,
well, he's not getting to the spot. He's running. He's never getting settled. So therefore, the ball is bouncing in the air. If that makes any sense, like an outfielder when he runs on his heels. So he never gets to the baseball and knows exactly where it's going to come down. He's going. Look, he's still on the move. He never stops. Therefore, the ball's moving in the air on you.
I would think a higher foul ball would have given him more trouble.
Well, you can tell he's worried about it too, putting that right hand in there to cover up the ball.
Here's Rupp, who homered his last time. Takes outside.
Tommy Joseph had a nice little hanging inside slider there. He
sure did.
Just didn't put enough tomahawk on it.
You can see his reaction too after he popped it up. Well, last time up, Cameron Rupp was bringing the lumber. Brought to you by Yellowwood brand pressure treated pop.
The fastball up out over the plate, and he did some damage right over that fence in right field. That is your Yellowwood bringing the lumber.
Won some money for somebody in the McDonald's home run jackpot. $300 for a young lady from Copley, Pennsylvania, just outside of Allentown. Carl Graver, our statistician, who's also a world traveler, at least along the East Coast, knows where Copley is. He waited and grounds it out to short. And a 1-2-3 inning for Casey Kelly. Phillies go down in order. We've played our first 3. We'll go to the 4th inning. The Phillies on top 2-0 over the Atlanta Braves. Color LaserJet printers deliver unmatched quality, and their Jet Intelligent toner cartridges print up to 1/3 more pages. Get yours from who? But WB Mason today and experience the difference. Nobody beats WB on HP. Top of the 4th inning. It's 2-0 Phillies on top. Chase Darno, Freddie Freeman, Nick Markakis.
Interesting. Ben and I were just watching Cameron Rupp throw down to second, threw from his knees. You ever throw from your knees?
I did.
I mean, did you throw runners out from your knees?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Wow. I'd imagine the first time you try that, it's kind of.
It was, yeah, I mean, it's the first time I ever tried it was maybe in high
Anybody
school.
get on you when you did it?
No. Sometimes if there were balls in the dirt, I'd try it because, being 6'5", I had a lot to clear.
Mm-hmm.
A lot easier for someone like a Pudge Rodriguez, only about 5'8".
Eric Kratz used to throw from his knees all the time.
Yeah, another big catcher, though.
Yep. Both of you guys are 6'5", and he would throw BBs down to second base.
The guy that really did it when I played was Pirates.
Manny Sanguillen?
No.
Tony Pena.
Tony Pena. Right. I should think of those names before I bring up the point. Right?
No, it's good because it's all part of your Jeep stump the broadcasters question. What a way.
Well, I've told this story before about, coming up in San Diego. They had Benito Santiago and Sandy Alomar Jr. coming up together at the same time, and they put a trash can at second base, and they have a bucket of balls that they just have throw-offs from their knees after a minor league practice, whatever. They say everyone would just gather around just to watch them throw it.
That one's lined it to right center field. Freeman's aboard. Peter Borges will cut it off. A one-out single. Nick Markakis is coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, it is a special afternoon here at the ballpark. Melanoma Awareness Day at the ballpark. Please say hello to Dr. Ashani Weeraratne, who we spoke to last year from the Wistar Institute, one of the scientists at the Wistar Institute doing just great work in getting the message out about melanoma and battling it as well. So we spoke a year ago, and I was wondering, what kind of progress has been made over the past year?
Well, Greg, there's been so much progress made. We have new advances in immunotherapy. So TJ Sharp, who threw out the first pitch, is a patient who was diagnosed 4 years ago, was given 2 years to live, but because of these amazing new drugs, he's still here and healthy and throwing out the first pitch, as you saw, and doing a great job at it. So
that's what it's all about. Now, you look out there today and you see the clouds in the sky, so someone who may not know any better would say, well, I don't have to worry about that kind of thing. I don't have to put my sunblock on today, and that would be incorrect, right?
That would be very incorrect. In fact, we know that UVA and UVB rays both burn right through the clouds, and so as a friend of mine always used to say, you can get a heck of a burn on a day like this, so please wear your sunblock.
Trust me when I tell you, Ben Davis and I know that very well firsthand, because we burn at night, which is really odd. Talk a little bit about what is happening here at Citizens Bank Park today, because for the first time ever in a Major League ballpark, we're being very proactive.
We are, and we're so excited that Citizens Bank and the Phillies have collaborated with us and a company called Sunshield to install dispensers. So many of you would have seen the dispensers as you walked into the park. And that has SPF 30 sunblock, so if you didn't wear your sunblock because it's a cloudy day, then you should go get some from the dispensers.
We are going to get that message out, as you guys do at the Wistar Institute every day. Thank you for all your work, and it's great seeing you again.
You too, Greg. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, let's send it back to you in the booth.
Sharp double play, Murph, to wrap up the top of the fourth inning. 2-0 Phils as we head to the home fourth. You buy Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com to find your RAV4 today. Toyota, let's go places. Let's go Phils. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Phillies had a picture perfect textbook 3-6-1 double play to finish up the top of the 4th. Freddie Galvis was part of that. Freddie now lines one toward right field. It's going to roll toward the warning track. Markakis lets it go all the way to the wall, and Galvis is thinking 3. And Beckham's throw to third is not in time. Well, credit Freddie Galvis on that one. Markakis probably should have cut that ball off if he could have, and I think he could have. And he would have held him for a double.
What's he doing out there?
Did kind of a funny thing, didn't it? It was like it bit and then this rolled real slow to the wall. Markakis might have been thinking it's going to carry him off the wall or something.
I hope that's it, because I didn't see a whole lot of effort on his part going after this ball.
Look how slow that ball run. He's not even in the pick. There he is.
And then it got lodged, so that helped.
That always helps. Freddie's thinking 3 all the way.
Young baseball players out there. You saw Freddie pick up that coach coming around, coming into second base to find out what he was supposed to do, either hold or come.
They say that's the most exciting play in baseball. I'm still partial to a homer.
I thought the day that Jimmy Rollins, the last day of the season, as Goodell was hitting the helmet on that one, when he picked up his triple in 2007, I think it was, that was pretty exciting. Puts runners on first and third, and Eickhoff is coming up. Eickhoff last time up grounded out to shortstop.
I think you'll probably see Jared just turn around and lay one down here.
Now the middle infielders are playing back, thinking he might do that. Castro is, excuse me, Darno is creeping in at third. He bunts it foul. 0-1.
Now we get an interesting play here at third. If the bunt gets down, basically Freddie can go as far as Darno goes.
Yes.
But Darno's job is, if he's not fielding the bunt, is to turn and sprint to third base to make sure Freddie has to go back.
Swing it away, and he fouls it back. It's 0-2.
Now I noticed there, Mike, that Darno was playing even with the bag. Is that where you would have been in this particular situation?
No, this is a bunt situation all the way.
So you would have been in farther than he is.
Absolutely. I'd be right on top of him. And then jog the runner back a little bit, be bouncing around, but the pitcher's, he must be a real good hitter. You know, I always believed if you can get the pitcher to swing, they're doing you a favor. In this at bat here, if he takes, you get him to 2 strikes, boom. I mean, most of the time a good right-hander on right-hander is going to strike him out.
Right.
And then he double plays in order, right? I mean, you're basically one pitch from being out of the inning. I understand we have a couple of our starters, and I don't know where Eickhoff is one of them, but are pretty good hitters.
Right. He is a good hitter.
We got some good hitters.
But I think the more you put a guy in a scoring position, the merrier.
I'm with you. I would agree. I don't know if there's a hit and run missed or what, but I don't know any way that there'd be swinging in this at bat.
No balls, 2 strikes to Eickhoff, and he grounds it toward third, a foul ball.
He's hanging pretty tough on some good breaking balls.
Yeah. Breaking ball.
Yeah,
goes down and gets it.
Yeah, he does. And he doesn't show any sign of flinching or fear of the ball or anything. Probably was a star hitter on the high school team.
Played your position in high school.
Did he?
Yeah. Chops it back over the mound. A run will score. An RBI for Jared Eickhoff as Galvis comes across the plate. It certainly helped that Casey Kelly tipped that ball.
That's for sure. And I mean, you know, maybe they know something. Good contact hitter with 2 strikes. I mean, I don't know. And he definitely did the job there. You know, contact.
I don't know if the double play would have been turned there because the ball wasn't smoked, but Jarrett got down the line pretty good.
And you know what? He swung at that pitch like he felt contact was a must. You know, he didn't take a big swing. He just stuck the bat out and made contact.
3rd RBI of the year for Eickhoff and his 5th of his career. And Borges, who has a single and an RBI.
Could that have worked out any better for the Phillies?
I don't know.
You got to run in, and you got to run in scoring position. There's 1 out. It just worked out perfectly. It's nice. I love when hitters go up there and they give you a battle and they help themselves out. Obviously, help the ball club out.
Opposite way again. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
A short swing there by Peter. Very quick to the baseball.
Off the hands.
I like what I'm seeing by Peter right now. I don't see any over anxiousness. I don't see him jumping out. I don't see him trying to hook the ball. It looks to me like he's trying to force the ball up the middle, just like he did on that first at bat for the RBI. Slowly but surely you can work yourself into a good groove by doing that. You find yourself then identifying pitches better. You find yourself getting a walk when you wouldn't have a week or so ago.
Really struggled that first 2 games there, just the 8 hits. I've seen just a better approach today, better at bats as a team.
And Borges strikes out, hung on to by A.J. Pierzynski. Yeah, that's the first strikeout of the day for Casey Kelly. And Odubel Herrera will be the hitter.
The breaking ball, and it backs up a lot. The A.J. wanted that down and away. It ended up being down and in.
Well, here's Odubel, who had a 9-pitch at bat his last time up. He's currently 7th in Major League Baseball in pitches per plate appearance. Actually, he's tied for 6th with Jose Bautista of the Blue Jays. He's 3rd in the National League. This is a list that includes Mike Trout, Paul Goldschmidt, David Wright, Joe Mauer, who's having a good year with the Twins, and of course Bautista.
It's good list to be on, Tom. A very good list to be on, and he can stay in that spot on that list by the end of the year. You watch how much over 300 his batting average will be.
Tyler Kepner from the New York Times had a story this past weekend about Odubel's sort of change, the change in his approach, and how hard it is for somebody who was, I guess, a free swinger to a certain extent, changing it to being more of a patient hitter in 1 year's time. 2 balls and 1 strike to Odubel. A fastball low by Casey Kelly.
I think it's really just if I can explain this the right way, really stop thinking you can hit every pitch and knowing you can hit the ones you can hit. You know, you really condense it down, like, oh, I think I can hit this one, but I know I can hit this one.
And he is hit by a pitch. And that'll put runners on first and second. We mentioned before that they may not have been happy about his antics. First base was open there. Ogando's starting to warm up in the pen.
Interesting. Ben, also, I think you're right with what you're saying, but I also think it's starting to get a big kick out of the base on balls.
Yeah.
You know, and start to focus on that on base percentage. Being amongst some pretty great hitters right there.
Are you up to something there, Casey? Who knows?
I think if you played against Odubel, he would get on your nerves a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's kind of the same way that Jose Reyes was when he was with the Mets.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we know Odubel. See him walk around, talk to him. He's a happy-go-lucky guy, loves playing the game. It's definitely a different demeanor he has on the field.
But Kelly comes back and throws 3 pitches within the strike zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cesar. Cesar's fly to center. He's also grounded back to the pitcher, shattering his bat his last time up.
I think it's best for the Phillies not to have any kind of thoughts in that area at all. They need to win this game.
By retaliation. Well, they will play him a ton more times. As you see the comparisons between the 2 pitchers today, it's almost like what we saw in Game 1 and in Game 2 on the flip side. Over to first base, Freddie Freeman waits, and that'll do it for the Phillies here in the 4th. But they add another run on the ground out by Eickhoff. On to the 5th inning here in Philadelphia, 3-0 Phils. Defensive play of the game. This is as good a 3-6-1 double play as you will see.
Yes, it is. Marqueco's quick ground ball to first. Tommy Joseph, the ex-catcher, shows that he's learned to play first base. Perfect strike to Freddie Galvis. Back to Eickhoff, just like they worked on it in spring training. Covers the base perfectly. And that is your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by your Del Val Hyundai dealers.
You're local. Del Val, they're local.
What? It's not the Del Val? Brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers. And they're somewhere in Delaware Valley. I know that.
Beckham takes a strike. It's 1-1. You have to, when you go to the Academy Awards this year, you're going to get prompter. You're not going to be able to do it off the top of your head. Beckham grounded out his first time up. That one's out to right field. Peter Borges makes the catch. One away. A.J. Pierzynski's coming up.
There's Matt Cord. Taking into today's ball game.
Matt, of course, clapping for Dan Baker. As Dan does the PA here. You know, PA announcers, that's what they do.
They stick together.
They stick together. Pierzynski grounded out to second base. His last time up, it was a one-hopper. Towering fly ball, short right field. Cesar's backpedaling, but this is Borges' ball, and he calls him off for the second out.
Throw this pitch right down the middle. All right, Ben, put your glove right in the middle.
Don't even give a sign.
Don't even give a sign. And hope he swings.
Daniel Castro has one of the 2 hits today for the Atlanta Braves. It was a single to right field. He fought off a bunch of curveballs and then finally got a fastball.
I'll tell you another thing about our pitching staff. With the exception of Hellickson, they all work pretty fast. I mean, it's just a trait of our pitchers. I know that's a Bob McClure.
I think
but I think it's great.
I think it's something, you know, Eichhoff comes from the Rangers, so he was only in the system for a little bit, but Joe Jordan has said that they whisper that into the ears of the starters. Report brought to you by Citizens Bank. Well, the Threshers lost to Palm Beach 9-6. Scott Kingery 3 for 5, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored. Meanwhile, the Blue Claws lost to Delmarva 2-1. Lehigh Valley and Reading, as you can imagine, were rained out, particularly since they were night games. Citizens Bank, the next time you have a question about money, don't keep it to yourself. Ask a citizen. Maikel Franco swings at the first pitch. Markakis comes sprinting in. He's not going to get there. And Franco's at first with a leadoff single.
I don't care how you get it, just get it.
That's going to look like a smoked line drive tomorrow. It's one of those stay inside the ball hits, you know, where you're trying to pull your hands in and you get jammed and you just be glad you didn't hit it good.
Yeah. You know, when you're scuffing, you get a hit like that, it makes you, it just takes a, you just feel so good about yourself, you know.
I never got any of those hits.
Got one.
I never got one.
Jeez.
That one's up and in on Tommy Joseph, goes back to the screen, and Franco goes to second. He's already hit 2 batters today.
Now it's getting concerning.
And that's not even close to where AJ was setting up.
No, but it was close to Joseph. And by the way, now that's the way you get out of a pitch, out of the way of a fastball up and in. You turn your shoulders and your upper body away from the pitch. Unlike Franco last night, of course, you know, he just kind of fell backwards, but you need to turn away from the pitch
and get the bat out of the way too. 1 ball and no strikes to Joseph. Outside 2-0.
Isn't it amazing? You get a couple pitches like the Franco pitch last night, that pitch to him, the pitch to earlier in the game, how unusual it is to see pitchers, you know, nowadays to see pitchers get a little bit wild like that. You know, you don't know whether, obviously we don't know whether they're purpose pitches or not, but in fact most of them didn't look like it.
Yeah, I think for the most part people pitch, I mean, you guys can correct me if you think I'm wrong, but out over the plate, away most of the time. 3-0 to Tommy Joseph. And he takes it's 3-1.
Tell you what, I'd have been letting him wail on that bad boy. Huh? Wouldn't you? Huh?
I thought he was going to. Pops it up. Foul territory, Freddie Freeman. And he makes the catch for the first out.
Tommy not too happy after getting one on his neck. I think he would have liked to at least advance that runner.
He's popped out twice today, once to AJ's last at bat and this time to Freddie Freeman at third base. See that ball go up knowing there's nothing you can do about it.
Cameron lines it back through the middle, a base hit. Franco up to stop at third. And he's 2 for 3. 4 for 7 in the series now. And the Phils have first and third with 1 out. Sunday, June 5th, when the Phillies take on the Milwaukee Brewers, all fans coming to the ballpark will receive the retro Phillies socks. They're compliments of Sports for All. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com.
Cameron Rupp continues straight away up the middle. Bam, and right on the nose.
It's the third time recently that I've seen him hit a first pitch curveball up the middle. He gets a hanger, first pitch hanger. He's going after it. He recognizes the pitch. He doesn't try and do a whole lot with it. He had the one on Wednesday for the bases loaded single up the middle to score a couple runs. He did it Friday night, and he did it again today.
Ideal situation here for Freddie Galvis. Again, on left-handed hitter, all you got to do is pull that nice ground ball right by first base. I don't know how easy that would be. I mean, they always say if you just look for a ball to pull and hook it to the right side, you got an RBI.
He bunts in the air, caught by Kelly. Franco gets back. 2 outs.
And I think that's why, Mike, you don't do that. You have that hole open as a lefty. I think he was trying to bring that one with him. You have that hole there. With decent speed, use it. Use that hole. Yeah, he definitely tried to bring that one with him and just pops it up.
It's still, but still, it's not a good play.
No.
I mean, there's 1 out. No outs, okay. But there's 1 out. You're hitting 6th in the batting order. You're in an RBI position. I mean, you live for a first and third 1 out.
Yeah.
Why would Freddie even let bunt creep into his mind?
That was all him, too. He wasn't told to do that, right?
Definitely on him.
You know, and honestly, if Casey Kelly had decided to turn and throw to third, he had a chance to get Franco. I know d'Arnaud was floating back up the third base line.
Not to mention he hit a triple the last time up.
Side is retired. Phillies threaten but do not score, so they maintain a 3-run lead. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. We'll head to the 6th inning. It's 3-0 Phillies on top of the Braves. Has made large contributions this week to the team's success. First, in the road trip finale, Cameron stepped to the plate in the 10th inning and delivered the game-winning 3-run double, leading to a Phils series victory. 2 nights later, he put the bat aside and defended home plate, receiving the game-ending throw from Tyler Goodell on the way to another Phillies 1-run win. Rupp has had that kind of a week, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. There's Cameron Rupp, who has an RBI today on a home run the opposite way. He also has a single. Reed Brignac is going to pinch hit as we head to the top of the 6th inning. So Casey Kelly is done after 5 innings, 7 hits and 3 runs. Brignac, who won a couple of games as a hitter when he was a Phillies pinch hitter, grounds that one toward first. A foul ball past Tommy Joseph. Baseball barely fit in that young lady's hand down there that the ball girl gave. Curveball.
I know the Phillies are up 3-0 in this ball game, and that's great. And shouldn't dwell on the negative, but I'm just thinking back to the first inning, man on third, 1 out, didn't get him in. That inning right there, another man on third, 1 out, didn't get him in. You know, they very well could be up 5-0 instead of just a 3-0. I know we shouldn't dwell on that, but these are the moving forward. These are the next steps that the Phillies have to make offensively for a team that struggles scoring runs.
Well, I think that's the big thing for a team that struggles to score.
Right. Now, if in your lineup you think, well, you know, we have a chance for a 3-run homer here. You know, the Phillies do have that here and there, but overall, they're not making a living with the long ball this year.
Well, fortunately, Eickhoff has been able to quiet the Braves' bats. He's fallen behind 3-2 to Reed Brignac. And Brignac fouls it back. He throws in the fastball, as you would expect. Although he does have confidence in that curveball to throw it at any time. Can't practice it, Ben.
Can't practice it. No matter what you can do, you cannot reenact that in any type of practice form. All you can do is yell at your mitt.
Curveball, and he bounces it foul. Well, he's tried just about everything. He hasn't tried the changeup to get Reed Brignac. How about the sliders? He tried the slider at all?
I don't know, but I'll tell you, if you can throw, if you've got a 3-run lead and you can snap off a couple of curveballs, the leadoff hitter and the 3-2 count, you must have some serious confidence in it, huh?
He does love that curveball.
Because if you throw it for a ball, everybody in his ballpark's going to go, what in the heck is he doing?
Throws it again. And he got him swinging.
How about 3 in a row?
My God. Now, I see throwing that to him if it was tie game or something. You know what I mean? Where you want to throw something out of the ordinary in a fastball count. Ben, you're the catcher. That's ball 4.
Yeah.
Aren't we in a position now just to throw all fastballs?
Well, if you can locate it, that fastball exactly where you want it, yeah, that's the pitch I would have put down. But he does have the supreme confidence in that curveball, which he came into today's game throwing 29% of the time. And it is better today than I've seen it in his last 3 starts. It seems to be tighter and sharper. It's not rolling out of his hand. It's a good sign for Jerad Eickhoff.
Well, I think one of your keys which was to throw all of his pitches. I think that helps the curveball too. He's fallen behind 2-0 to Mallex Smith here in the 6th inning. With one man down, Phil's trying to win the final game of this series.
Well, they're going to look.
I think they're looking to see if that ball
might have hit his pants leg.
Yeah, it may have hit Mallex Smith. Hit by pitch is reviewable. Terry Pendleton is on the horn.
How do you guys feel about all this?
I think there has to be a time limit.
Might have hit him on the toe, huh? How about the old look at for some paint on the ball?
You don't use black shoe polish anymore.
Should force him to use it just so they could tell. 2 balls and 1 strike.
He was going downtown.
That's an awful big swing for a little guy. I don't blame him though.
Opposite way, base hit for Mallex Smith.
That's quite an adjustment right there.
It sure was.
From downtown to hitting the rope right by the shortstop.
If you're dying to know what it's like to fire the Fanatics hot dog cannon, well, Marshall Harris got to do just that on an all-new Phillies clubhouse tomorrow at 11 right here on CSN. Look at his face, Marshall's face, how excited he was. We all were. He's firing that hot dog shooter.
You should have that on your resume, guys. And I'm sure you do, right?
Never done it.
I've never done it. You've done it, though.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I'm going to have to get you down there. It goes. Thum, thum.
Got to call your buddy and tell him to send some up.
Fire one of those into the stands. Get a nosebleed.
Oh, look at this over here. We're kicking the dirt. What is all that? Now Tommy Joseph ought to go over there and why don't Tommy Joseph go over there and smooth it out?
Yeah.
Kick some of it back in.
In the dirt, 1 ball, no strikes. Ciarte 0 for 2. Popped out to short. He's flied out to right. That is a balk because Jerad Eickhoff did not come set. He tried a quick pitch, I think, and it was quick.
I think all 4 umpires called it.
It just didn't look right.
No.
So the upper body where his hand was, that wasn't set. Nothing was set. A little twitch. Cesar Hernandez to his left a few steps. The runner moves over to third, but there are 2 outs here in the 6th inning. And Chase Darno is next up for the Braves. .62 pitches. That's it for Jerad Eickhoff. 7 in the 4th, 7 in the 5th. And this is a really good outing for him based on his last couple. You know, the game against the Braves where he really struggled. He was better his last time out, but this is even better right here.
Well, the team needed it, but Jerad Eickhoff needed it too.
Now he's just got to finish it off, right?
He's got to finish this off. But so far, so very good for Jerad Eickhoff. You always think team first, but personally, he needs this.
Trying to get Chase Darno, who's 0 for 2. Curveball misses. I think he wanted both of those where they crossed over the plate, but Rob Drake, the home plate umpire, wasn't biting.
There's any chance he would bunt on a 2-0 pitch here?
2 outs to try to get a base hit.
when you think Mikhail.
Oh, you mean move him back?
Might play.
Yeah, move him
play
back.
some depth. Either that, or you know what you do is and I've talked to him about this before, but I don't think he heard me. You start right where he's at right now. You let the batter see you there, and it takes fun off the batter's mind, and you backpedal about 5 or 6 steps to your normal position. You've got to get into a position where you can cover more ground. Chopper to your right or to your left, you might be able to catch from more depth.
Delivers a fastball at the knees, and it's 2-1.
By the way, that's a big pitch right there. This at-bat is not over by any means, but this is a big hitter to get out right here. You see who's on deck.
Yeah, you do not want to bring the tying run to the plate, and Freddie Freeman, if he bats in this inning, would be the tying run. All right, so you've got him with these last 2 fastballs after falling behind with 2 curveballs.
And Ben, you're the catcher here. I don't want to mess with anything that would take me to a 3-ball count here.
But that out pitch is the curveball. Or if he could throw another fastball in that same spot. Whew.
Throws a slider, and it's 3-2. Well, he did get d'Arnaud on the slider his first time up. That one, though, was more of a ball out of his hand.
If he threw 3 in a row to the leadoff guy, Brignett,
I mean,
you have to think he'd throw it here.
But why should you be afraid of this hitter? There's no reason why you shouldn't go right at this hitter.
He does, and it's low, ball 4. And the tying run is coming to the plate.
That change, he could get out of this, and I hope he does, but that walking that hitter there, not challenging him, just changes the entire flow of the inning. Here's the potential to leave this game and not leave with a win is here now. And again, I tell you what, you can go back to your 2 points earlier about leaving those runners on third with 1 out.
Right.
Earlier in the game, it could be, you're not getting them all in, I know, but it could be at least 4, maybe 5-0 here. But now we got the tying run at the plate.
It's Freddie Freeman, who's 1 for 2. They have the overshift on against him. And he hits that one right at Tommy Joseph. The side is retired, and he does get out of it. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. Middle of the 6th. It's the Phillies 3, the Braves nothing. You buy Sleepy's. Shop Sleepy's Memorial Day holiday sale with up to half off nearly every mattress in the store. Sleepy's, the only mattress professionals. And by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. A stroll along Aspern Alley will take you to not only Chickies and Pete's. You can stop at Campo's or Tony Luke's for a cheesesteak or a hoagie. Seasons Pizza is out there as well. And then after you stop and eat at all those places, you go to the Majestic Clubhouse store, the Alley store, and buy a larger shirt. Jared Eickhoff will lead it off. He's 0 for 2 with an RBI. Eric O'Flaherty is the new pitcher for the Braves here in the home 6th. Casey Kelly goes 5, allows 7 hits and 3 runs.
You go Kelly, O'Flaherty. Murph might have to pitch next.
Eickhoff fouls it down the right field line. Hey, nice catch. That's it. Show it to everybody. The youngster was able to pluck that out of a sea of hands that could not come up with it. Here we go. Oh, we slow-moed it too.
Well done.
That's why you bring your glove. Awesome.
Mike, do you have an age limit of when you can, you have to stop bringing your glove?
Yeah,
To the ballpark?
45. Ball was hit
Tom
hard
brought
over
his to the ball. To the
I was
ballpark.
45.
Eickhoff showing another good stroke as a hitter.
Grounds out to third for the first out. Here's Peter Borges.
He'll remember that the rest of his life.
That catch?
Yes.
I mean, that's
As you will.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal grab.
The odds of a ball coming right to you when you have your glove at the park, whew, you know it.
Absolutely.
I'm amazed that was Matt out there with you?
Matt was out there. It was me, Jamie, Matt in that order.
Right. So I'm wondering. I would think you wouldn't even think about it. You know, somebody get your glove on, get your glove. And you just did it without anybody saying anything. It's like you were ready for it.
Well, the glove was on the counter. That was the only problem. 0-1 to Borges. And Borges lines it out toward left. Inciarte will make the catch. And there are 2 outs. Odubel Herrera is coming up. Time now for the Jeep Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, guys, the question is, who holds the Atlanta Braves record for most triples in one season?
Well, I tried Otis Nixon and didn't work. You got anybody?
I was going to say Andrew Jones.
Andrew Jones is a good guess. It is incorrect, though.
How about a Ralph Garr?
Ralph Garr is correct.
Oh, I didn't get it in.
Well, you did, but it was your second choice. But we'll
Oh no,
give
the
that.
buzzer was him being
Yes,
wrong.
that
I'm
was
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was going. I didn't think we had any more time.
There's not a time limit, although.
Ralph Garr, then.
Yeah, 17,
I'm on a run.
17 in 1974. Log back on the Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of the Phillies prize pack.
Odubel tried to drop one on a first pitch with 2 outs.
No minute surprise. Odubel's been on base 3 times today. He's doubled, he's walked, he's been hit by a pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. For those that don't remember, though, Ralph Garr, I mean, he could fly.
Mm-hmm.
He was part of a Braves team that included Hank Aaron.
They're going to call a swing on that.
Yep, they did.
Does he know it?
I think he does.
Odubel's having to do a lot of ball dodging here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what else you could call it.
I mean, you talk about going all the way around. I mean, he went around the world on that. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Herrera. Freddie Freeman has it. O'Flaherty's not going to get there in time, so Odubel will get an infield hit.
That is a thing of beauty.
It sure is. No one's happier than Odubel right now after having to get out of the way of a couple of pitches, not to mention one hitting him in the leg his previous at bat.
And it's tough for a lefty because he's falling off towards the third base side.
Very good call.
Very tough for lefty to get over there. Odubel reads it right out of the box, but it's always good hustle on his part. Does not take a play off. Odubel loves it. I know you said you never got a hit like Michael had with that blooper down the right field line. I never got one like that.
Well, now I would think he's going to be off and running.
Yeah.
Takes low. Cesar does. Batting right-handed here. It's 1 ball, no strikes to Hernandez, who's 0 for 3. He's flied out, and he's grounded out twice. Well, maybe he's not going to be off and running here. Maybe here he will be. By the way, while we have a moment, I want to wish a happy birthday to Eddie Glover, who works here in the Phillies front office. We always see him in the lunchroom. Jack of all trades. Eddie's birthday was yesterday, and I forgot to wish him a happy birthday on the air yesterday. So happy birthday, Eddie. If I don't wish him a happy birthday, then Frank will never give Mike any more ice cream.
Which wouldn't be a bad thing. I'm now addicted to Frankie Two Scoops conversation and his ice cream.
1 ball, 1 strike to Cesar. There goes Odubel. Pitch is hit through the hole on the right side. Odubel did a little hurdle, and now he's off to third. And the Phillies are first and third with 2 men down. They got a clutch 2-out base hit from Borges earlier. They're going to look for one here. They are 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position, but it looks like they're going to have to face somebody other than Eric O'Flaherty. Watch Odubel on this ball going by. Whoop. I don't even think he was anywhere near it.
No, but it looked good.
Yeah, just making sure. So O'Flaherty is done for the day, and Alexi Ogando will be the new pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. 3-0 Phillies in search of some more. Chicago Cubs at start of a 3-game series. It wraps up on Wednesday the 8th. It's a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. The next several weeks of games are going to be a pretty tough stretch for the Phillies. You know, it includes 2 series against the Cubs, a couple series against the Nationals, the Detroit series coming up this week. They have a Brewers series mixed in there as well, but it's a tough road for the Phillies schedule-wise. Here's Alexi Ogando in his 20th game.
Alexi, he's always had good stuff. Good fastball, good slider, very good changeup.
Nice little 2-out single to right field here. You can hit a ground ball where the vacated second base is right now and just get you an easy RBI.
Outside 2-0. Cesar started and stopped.
Now again, that's not the easiest thing in the world to do,
right.
But God, isn't it tempting when you look out there? And
sure is. There's a whole lot of real estate.
you could push a bunt over there and get an RBI.
Yeah.
.2-0 slider.
No, you're not looking for that pitch in that count, but that was going to hit.
It would be, but I wouldn't swing at it, that's for sure, unless I knew the pitcher, unless we had a real long history and I had a lot of information.
Yeah.
And he used to, you know, that he liked to throw that pitch. I've seen it before. No, I would be fastball city right there. It's hard for me to think that this might not be another slider right now. You got to kind of put it on your mind right now.
Well, he does throw it, and it's outside, 3-1.
What did they used to say? McCarver and Harry Ashburn, those guys, book it. You can book a slider right now.
Timmy used to say that all the time.
Huh? And he's throwing a fastball.
That one is looped out toward right center field. Long run for Markakis, and it drops off his glove. One run is in. Hernandez is being waved home. The throw goes to second. Here it comes to home. Not in time. Franco is tagged out at second, but the Phillies scored 2 more runs to take a 5-0 lead.
I thought the one earlier was pretty. This one is gorgeous.
He's got 2 bloop hits, and he'll take them. 2 bloop hits and 2 RBIs as Markakis can't come up with this one. And then Cesar Hernandez was busted it all the way around, was able to score from first base. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. The Phillies just tacked on 2 more runs. They have 10 hits. They lead 5-0 as we go to the top of the 7th. And Jared Eichhoff, he's been dealing today. He's allowed just 3 hits. He has struck out 3 so far through 6 innings of work. So we'll go to the 7th. Maikel Franco credited with a 2-run single. Is low. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Markakis.
You stay on the attack if you're Jared Eichhoff. Still 0-0 in your mind.
He's trying to get to that same spot. He was called once, but he is trying to get to that same spot.
That's a ball, but I like it because he didn't miss up, out, over the plate. He missed down. I'll take that all day long if he's missing.
Fly ball left center field. Odubel Herrera makes the one-handed catch. One out here in the top of the 7th. Gordon Beckham's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks, Don. Well, it's time for our greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Hasn't been a great season for the A's Sonny Gray, and it's only getting worse. He is headed to the 15-day disabled list with a strained trap muscle. He's 3-5 with an ERA over 6. This is the first time that he'll be headed to the DL in his career. The news is better for Ichiro Suzuki. He's getting a little bit closer to career hit number 3,000. He went 4 for 4 last night, got another base hit today, 2,955. He is now 32nd all-time on that list and creeping up as we go. Just needs 45 more to hit 3,000. And some news close to home. Cody Asche, we were told early this morning, heading to Reading. He is in the lineup today for the Reading Titans. His rehab assignment progressing. He was down there in Clearwater, now up there in Reading, inching his way back closer to the big leagues. Guys,
I told him today, I said, you're getting closer to the cold weather. I said, so that's
Yeah.
a good sign. Because he's been playing down in Florida.
I feel terrible for him. Just stuck, you're stranded. It's like you're on an island down there. You're stranded. You want to be back here with your team. And I mean, Clearwater obviously is a beautiful place.
It sure is.
But there's only one place to play.
Well, and you know, Murph's talking about his rehab, and he's stretching himself out. He's going through spring training essentially right now. So that's why it's progressing from one level to the next.
What's your guess when Cody is ready to come back?
I think availability wise, there's a broken bat single for Pierzynski. Maybe the 2nd week of June.
But I mean, when he comes back, do you see Do you see him getting in the lineup as an everyday player?
Boy, that's a good question. I don't know. I really don't. And if Goodell keeps hitting, he's going to play left field. I don't think he's going to play right field. So, you know, honestly, Mike, I don't want to cop out, but I don't know what his role would be when he comes up, if it would be as an extra outfielder, or if they keep him in AAA to get some more at-bats. I don't know. I think 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we need, ideally, Cody gives you a left-handed bat.
Correct.
Pop one and hit a lot of doubles.
You know, what they could do is move Tyler over to right field and put Cody in left field if they feel like he's ready to come up and hit in the big leagues. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, New York leads Milwaukee 3-1 as Drupal Cabrera has a 2-run single. Noah Syndergaard has struck out 10 through 6 in that game for the Mets. It's his 3rd double-digit strikeout game of the year. Curveball inside, 1-2. By the way, in that Reading game that Murph was talking about, Cody is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts playing left field. Jorge Alfaro is 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs and a run scored. A curveball looped down the left field line. That'll drop for a hit. Pierzynski's on his way to 3rd, and Goodell thought about going there, but instead goes to 2nd. The ball does get away for a moment, but the runners don't advance.
Smart play by Goodell. I know the temptation was to try to throw Pierzynski out at 3rd base. Not a good runner, and he probably didn't use good judgment trying to go to 3rd, but he did once he resisted the temptation and kept the batter on 1st. Keeps the force play in 2nd in order.
Really hasn't used that slider or that changeup a whole lot today.
I think
a lot more fastballs, but that fastball command has gotten a lot better.
Yeah, I think the slider was in the 1st inning most of the time. Here's Goodell. Look where the runners are or were.
It's tempting right there, isn't it?
It is.
It sure is.
When you have a 5-0 lead, I guess you play it a little conservatively. Kelly Johnson to pinch hit, and Johnson takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
I think keep Kelly Johnson out of the lineup in Atlanta.
particularly with a right-hander on the mound. He had a nice year last year.
You had a guy on your bench with 13 home runs and 44 RBIs against the Phillies.
Focus in, Bernie. Focus in.
Bernie always gives you a little smile.
1-2 pitch. Broken bat. One hopper. Flagged down by Tommy Joseph. And the side is retired. Tommy Joseph's been active over at first base.
Nice reaction.
No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. Jared Eichhoff has pitched 7 shutout innings here this afternoon. Five-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Saturday, June 4th, when the Phillies take on the Milwaukee Brewers. All fans 14 and under will receive the Aaron Nola T-shirt. Compliments of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 98. If you want tickets for that ball game, for that series, go to Phillies.com. It's an innovative giveaway. They took Aaron Nola's college colors and put him into a Phillies T-shirt. And that is a great giveaway for fans 14 and under. Jared Eichhoff on the bench with his jacket on. Bob McClure on the phone. He may be done for the day, but we will see as we move forward. They had Hector Neris warming up. His pitch count is still tolerable. That wouldn't be the issue. It would just be that that there's 7 innings in the books, and the bullpen of Neris and Genmar Gomez haven't worked in a couple of days. Here's Ian Kroll. He's been good since he's been brought up by from the minor leagues. 3.60 ERA.
I like his stuff. I do. Good hard fastball. What I like about him is the fact that he can get it in on righties. It's a mid-90s fastball, 93, 95. But he can really get in on righties, and then he can back foot a slider as well.
Our GMC precision plays of the game. We go to the 6th inning with the Phils with 2 outs, getting something going.
It didn't look like a whole lot. That inning set up, we get 2 quick outs, and then all of a sudden Odubel gets on. Cesar Hernandez with a single to right field, 1st and 3rd, and a bloop. It wasn't pretty, but it was nice to see the Phillies put a rally together, string a couple hits together, end up with 2 runs. We love to see that with 2 outs. The Phillies did it for your GMC precision plays of the game.
Well, it's interesting. The Phillies first time scoring 5 or more runs in a game since May 12th at Atlanta when they scored 7. They've had 4 runs or fewer in their last 8 games prior to this one. And it's only the 9th time this year they've scored 5 runs or more. Tommy Joseph will lead it off. Joseph is 0 for 3. It's a big week for Tommy Joseph because of the games coming up against the Tigers, where he is scheduled to play. Pete said he thought all 3 games. And he'll play first while Ryan Howard will DH. 2-1.
Mike, was there a point in your career where you had to check the lineup to see if you're going to be in it? Never in the big leagues? No?
Oh, never in the big leagues?
In the big leagues. Like maybe.
Well, I must admit, and we might have one here. Sorry. Went over our head. That's the 3rd one, right? Yeah, I mean, my first year, when I was hitting under 200, I did come in and have to look at the lineup.
Peek every once in a while.
See whether I was in there or Cesar Tovar was playing in my place. But yeah, just that year. After that, no, I didn't.
But it really does put your mind. I had to do it my whole career when I was in the big
man.
leagues. I don't know about that one.
That is a pitcher's pitch right there to get Tommy Joseph looking.
But I had to do it my whole career, not knowing. I mean, if there was a day game or something that maybe the manager would come, hey, you're going to be in there tomorrow. Make sure you're ready. But you know, it was something I had to go through. It was a very unnerving feeling, knowing. But I think it would take so much pressure off a player knowing that I know I don't have to check the lineup anymore.
What was it, your 3rd year you played your most games? Is that what it was in San Diego?
In San Diego, in 2001, I played 138.
Right.
You know, but still, being a catcher, it was day game after night game, whatever. But that was a bit easier to swallow.
Pitches inside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Interesting point on that subject. You know, I heard that Joe Madden texts the lineup to the entire team early in the morning every day.
Does he
as soon as
really?
he makes it out. So nobody has to look at the lineup in Chicago. I think it's a pretty neat idea.
That's great. As a player, I would love that.
Yeah.
So before you got to the ballpark, before you prepared, you knew you were there.
Right. It wouldn't stop me from preparing any differently. You
No,
still
I
go
know.
about your business. But from a mental aspect.
Cameron Rupp with another base hit as that one spins up the middle. So he's got a home run the opposite way. He's got 2 singles straight up the middle.
And they still shift on him.
They still shift.
Well, that could be a nice flight for Cameron Rupp to Detroit. Like you said earlier, Mike, that spray chart's looking better and better.
Yes,
I
it
love
is.
his
Good
base.
call.
And
I'm telling you, yeah.
He's just got a good, solid base beneath him. Just seems like he's trusting himself a bit more.
Freddie tried to bunt his last time up, bunted out to the pitcher. He takes upstairs. This is the first 3-hit game of Cameron Rupp's career. He's also raised his average to 274. Fly ball down the left field line. That's going to hook. Foul. Here's Cameron Rupp's swing from the side.
Watch these hands separate right now when he strides. Foot's down, hands go back. Look at the left arm, how straight it gets. That's perfect. Perfect mechanics right there. That'll get you some hits. That I'm telling you what. He's on the right track.
Opposite way, a base hit for Freddie Galvis.
This is great.
So that's part of the approach, the change in approach.
Use the whole field. It's just nice to see Freddie bounce back after his last at bat, which he popped a bunt to the pitcher. I know that's frustrating, but there's a lot of green out there. Might as well use it.
Look at that swing, how nice and level. Now, you know, that to me, that swing right there is a carefree swing. There's not a lot of pressure in that. He's not trying to drive the ball somewhere. And a little backdoor hanging breaking ball, and he just kind of strokes it right where second baseman would be. You know, you can do that. You can do that all year.
You don't have to do it on a Sunday in May.
It's just a matter of managing it and you know, trusting it.
Well, you said during the Open today that, you know, the approach, that it's the player has to figure it out. Well, they figured it out today. 12 hits compared to 8 the first 2 games of the series. He looked a little more fluid on that one. 2 outs. Jared Eickhoff has been called back, and Andres Blanco is going to pinch hit. Excellent job by Jared Eickhoff today.
Good for him. Bob McClure. I think Bob's got a smile on his face.
I think for, even Bob McClure, the bullpen sessions the last 2 times have been pretty heavy teaching sessions with Jared Eickhoff. So for him, he probably sees, how that's carried over to the game too. Blanco swings at the first pitch, a fly ball out towards center, and the side is retired. For the Phils, no runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. Excellent outing by Jared Eickhoff. He'll now hand it off to the bullpen. Phillies baseball is brought to you by McDonald's. Jumpstart your morning with a hot or iced McCafe coffee. Now starting at just $1. And by Toyota. Get a great deal on your favorite Toyota during the Toyota Time Sales event. Toyota, let's go places. 5-0 Phillies on top. Isn't this the spot where Murph comes and steals the pizza? Jared Eickhoff was fantastic today.
It should be. Good breaking ball. Buckles a lefty. You don't see that a whole lot in Freddie Freeman. Good play here by Tommy Joseph, but the fastball command. In, out, up, down. And when he missed down in the zone or off the plate. You love to see that. The curveball was sharp today. Got some good defensive help behind him. There in the 3-6-1 double play. Just really on top of his game today. Nice to see out of Jared Eickhoff.
So he'll give way to Hector Neris. They're still going over it in the dugout. First pitch from Neris is inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
See Cam going down to a knee. I did ask him about that the other day. Obviously Cam's been on the bases 3 times today in the 3 hits that he's had, including the home run. The ankle still is a little sore. He said if I have a chance to take a little bit of pressure off it, I'm going to do it. He goes, I don't like doing it. I like to be in a full squat, but it does relieve a bit of the pressure.
Ball's butted in front of the plate. Rupp is out fast, throws to first just in time to get Malik Smith. That was a seed that Cameron Rupp threw.
Cameron's having a day.
Do it all, big boy.
Every time the Phillies pitchers retire the opposition, 1, 2, 3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Tell you what, that was a heck of a bunt.
It was a good bunt.
Look at that bunt. And Cameron, now you're trained to throw your mask off, right?
Yes. And then barehanded If it's rolling, it depends on the runner, but Mallex Smith can roll, so you have to go out and barehand it.
Hector's numbers a 1.44 ERA. He and David Hernandez among the leaders in strikeouts for relief pitchers. There's a looper out to left center field for Inciarte. Odubel Herrera cuts it off.
It's good hitting there.
Yes, it is. That he's taking that fork ball. It's up a little bit. And you try to pull that thing, and you got yourself a ground ball to second base. You go with it to left field. You got yourself a line drive.
It's a two-seamer, it looked like. Tried to go in, but down and away. You're right, though. You try and pull that.
4-3.
All day long.
Ball inside, 1 ball and no strikes to d'Arnaud. 0 for 2 with a walk. Phillies are off to a Detroit after this little interleague play. 2 night games and a day game. Velasquez pitching tomorrow at 5-1. Be interesting to see him against that power lineup.
Ex-Met.
Boy, Mike Pelfrey takes a long time out on the mound. 1 ball, 1 strike to d'Arnaud. 1-2.
Could be some interesting confrontations tomorrow with Velasquez.
Yep, I think he's
Miguel
looking forward
Cabrera.
to it. Yeah, I think he's looking forward to it. That challenge of facing somebody like Miguel Cabrera and Victor Martinez. 1-2 to d'Arnaud. In the dirt, blocked by Rupp. 2-2.
A long walk from the clubhouse down the steps to the dugout. Long walk.
There's the central standings. The Tigers are 2 games under 500, but only 4.5 out. Minnesota had a good year last year, and they've been somewhat disappointing, to say the least, this year. White Sox and the Phillies are the 2 surprise teams, the big surprise teams this year. And the White Sox probably have even more of a nod because they're in first place.
Definitely a team out of that AL Central you don't hear a lot about is the Indians. Strong pitching staff that they have, but they don't get a whole lot of hype.
No, you're right. Inside 3-2. By the way, some news out of our research department in the production cavity is that Miguel Cabrera has been hit by a pitch today and has a sore knee, so he is day to day.
Had a sore knee for 18 years.
Well, you are day to day, Mike. Grounder foul past Bo Porter.
Brad Ausmus had a good line last year in spring training about Miguel Cabrera, and I was staying on the cage talking to Brad, and I said, I could watch this man hit all day long. Miggy was in there taking BP. He goes, yeah, that's what happens when you're 260 pounds and have a perfect swing. So, good point.
Got it in on his hands. Cesar Hernandez out in shallow right field, waits for it and puts it away for the second out. Phillies Baseball Academy is open for business. The summer is getting closer. School is letting out. Call 610-520-3400 for more information, or you can always go to the community section at Phillies.com to check out info on the Phillies Baseball Academy. 4 divisions allow for age-appropriate instruction.
I like to see Hector using that fastball right there to get in on Chase d'Arnaud and induce a pop-up.
Runner goes, pitch is taken inside, throw to second on his knee. And Inciarte is able to stop it from going into center field. That's his second stolen base.
This is Cam here. You see him. You do have to make sure you still transfer your weight to that left kneecap if you are throwing from your knee. It's a good jump. Hector with a very high leg kick. But if you lay back on that right knee, you're not going to be able to generate any arm speed towards second base.
They've held Freddie Freeman in check today. He's 1 for 3. He smoked one his last time up. In one of the more important at bats of the day for Eickhoff, because it was 3-0 and there were runners on first and third. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hector steps off. He's concerned about Inciarte. He's got a 5-run lead. I don't think he really knew what pitch he wanted to throw there.
Bad thoughts out, good thoughts in.
I think it's got to be a split, right?
I would never hit a golf shot if I had to get all the negative thoughts out of my mind before I hit it.
Just swing as fast as you can, Mike.
With your swing, I wouldn't worry about it.
He does throw the split. Now it's 3-2. Nick Markakis waits on deck.
Well, this is a time right here where you got to serve one up to Freddie Freeman, don't you?
I think he'll still go with the split.
He does. One hopper to Tommy Joseph covering, and he flips to Hector Neris, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. Middle of the 8th, 5-0. Phillies on top. Hear reactions for Pete Mackanin and the team only on Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Post Game Live. Jared Eichhoff today won 7 innings. Hector Neris just pitched a scoreless 8th inning. And as we move to the bottom of the 8th, it'll be Peter Bourjos. And Bourjos hits one out toward right center field. Malik Smith will let it drop, a base hit. Boy, Kroll's reaction out on the mounds. I don't know if he was mad at the pitch or mad that catch wasn't made. But he was pretty upset out on the mound.
Peter Bourjos' first pitch swinging.
Well, no, it's hard to say. He's had some. Look at that. I think that ball's got to be caught. Sort of a shrug there. You don't want to show up your teammates, but I think he's been victim of a couple of bloopers.
Well, now Odubel, who has been on base 4 times.
I think he kind of did that, though. That's in the heat of the battle. Sometimes you do things you shouldn't.
Odubel has scored a run today. He's doubled. He's walked. He's been hit by a pitch. He helped fuel a 2-run, 2-out rally his last time.
See, like right now, Odubel could be in the box ready to go. This is what the opposition, I don't think, is all that fond of, is, you know, the routine. Once the pitcher is ready to go and the batter's had sufficient time to go through his routine, he should have gotten it out of the way. You know what I mean? Like right now, for the pitcher, it can get on your nerves for all of this have to take place on every pitch.
Line drive caught by Kroll. They double up Bourjos. That ball was scorched off the bat of Odubel Herrera. And Kroll was lucky he caught that ball.
His heart is going a mile a minute right now. Ball caught him.
That is going right toward his face.
That'll make some highlights tonight.
Oh.
But then they have the presence to double up Bourjos at first.
He just wanted to get rid of it like it was a hot potato.
I'll tell you what, that was some good hitting. Now Odubel got kind of evened out. The last time up, he did get that chopper in the infield. He scorched that ball right back at the pitcher, but I wouldn't put it past Odubel to say, I'm going to try to hit one right back at that pitcher to get even with these guys, right?
Man.
That was right between the eyes, wasn't it?
It sure was. I mean, he was ducking, but I don't know if he was going to duck quick enough.
Self-defense. I think he's a little shaken up.
He should be. $13 hits today. That's what you'd like to see.
Oh, they swung the bat well today. Lined out a couple of times as well, and a couple of balls borderline should have been caught possibly. Franco got 2 actually. Bourjos this inning. Ball's hanging up out there. Freddie Galvis's triple, strange triple. Ball hit hard though.
Breaking ball cut on a miss by Cesar Hernandez. Phillies are retired here in the 8th. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left, and a lifesaver for Ian Kroll on the ball hit off the bat of Odubel Herrera, and then the presence of mind to get rid of it and turn the double play.
Five-0 lead. Jeanmar Gomez in to close this one out. When this one's said and done, the Phils will say goodbye to Citizens Bank Park for a few days, heading off to Detroit to start the 7-game road trip. There's the pitching matchup to see if Vince Velasquez will take the ball for the Phils tomorrow against Mike Pelfrey. And then it'll be Jeremy Hellickson on Tuesday night versus Justin Verlander. And then on Wednesday afternoon, on getaway day, Aaron Nola, 3-3, will take on Anibal Sanchez. Guys, but remember, this one's not over yet.
Not over yet, Murph. They need 3 more outs, and Jeanmar Gomez is called upon to get those last 3 outs. This is not a safe situation, but Jeanmar has not worked in a couple of days. In fact, he hasn't worked since Sunday's game against the Marlins, because the off day on Thursday, he had 3 straight days off. And we'll face Nick Markakis, Gordon Beckham, and A.J. Pierzynski here in the top of the 9th inning.
Phillies have a nice little history with 2 of the pitchers they're facing in Detroit.
Pelfrey and Sanchez.
Anibal Sanchez.
Pelfrey and Chase Utley used to go at it. Chase did everything he could to poke at Mike Pelfrey. He just tried to annoy him as much as possible, because Pelfrey had some issues with box and with wildness. One ball, 1 strike to Markakis. Cesar Hernandez was shaded that way. And Gordon Beckham will come up to the plate. Phillies have held the Braves to 6 hits today, and all 6 hits have been singles. That's a big deal, considering the fact that they're on this road trip. They had 31 extra base hits coming into today's ball game, which is about 40% of the time they were getting extra base hits. Starts the first 2 hitters off with that changeup. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, it's gone final in Miami. The Nationals have defeated the Marlins 8-2. Max Scherzer the win, 8 innings, 8 strikeouts. Adam Conley the loss. Strike 3 called. A fastball toward the outer edge. That was more middle than outer edge.
What do they call that? Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good night. You have to give up on it if you're right-handed. You see that ball outside, you say, oh, that's a ball outside. And right back over the outside plate.
A.J. Pierzynski 1 for 3.
Well, I'm going to take the liberty of saying, gentlemen, have a nice road trip. See you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, Michael.
I think we can handle this game from here on out.
Just need one more out. Somebody can get one more out.
Actually, Ben's not going on the road trip.
I'm not going.
Yep, Matt's here and ready to go.
A little time with the family.
Yeah.
Matt went and checked in up into Canada. Everything's fine up there. The country's fine. He's back now. Two-0 pitch. Low, 3-0.
I'm sure the missus will be happy to have me home for a little bit of time.
So you think.
Thanks, Tom.
You gonna do some chores around the house?
Of course.
It's been 3 hours at the Y instead of an hour and 10 minutes.
Pull some stumps out of the ground with that pickup winch.
I might. I do have to do some work at the farm, so.
Three balls, one strike to Pierzynski. Fly ball left center field. Tyler Goodell will glide under it, and he makes the catch, and the ball game is over. The Phils take the final game of this 3-game series over the Braves. 5-0, another shutout, combined shutout for the Phillies pitching staff. And they finish this homestand with 5 wins in 9 games. Cameron Rupp, he had a big day, not only offensively, but also defensively. Maikel Franco had a nice day offensively as well. The Phillies banged out 13 hits. And of those 13 hits, they had 4 extra base hits, including the opposite field home run by Cameron Rupp. And here are WB Mason deliveries of the game, and we will begin with Cameron Rupp.
In that second inning, fastball up out over the plate off Casey Kelly. Cameron Rupp wastes no time, making this a 1-run ball game. That was a bullet in the 6th inning.
It looked like a fly ball to center field, didn't it?
It sure did, but it gets out there and down. Nick Markakis not able to score it. Cesar Hernandez hustling all the way from first base to score. And they are your WB Mason deliveries of the game.
So the Phillies win it 5-0, and Maikel Franco, who was able to pick up those 2 base hits, is down on the field with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thank you very much. Team high 13 hits today. Maybe a little bit of a different approach for both you and your teammates today?
I mean, yeah, the team do a pretty good job today. Just like I say, we go out there, we win together, we fight together, you know, we do everything together, so that's what it is. Just good game for us, everybody today, and like I say, try to be ready every single day.
You got a couple of hits, a couple of RBIs as well. Maybe not the rockets off your bat, but they fell in where they needed to fall in, and that's a good way to get yourself going, right?
I mean, you know, sometimes that's happened. You know, sometimes I just hit the ball hard. You know, I don't got too many lucky, but today I just, you know, we fight my sabah, just go out there, try to just drive him in. And like I say, something good happened for me. And like I say, I'm glad for that. And like I say, I want to continue to do that every single day.
Pete Mackanin said yesterday that he wanted to see a little bit more of the energy that he has been seeing out of this team. Maybe he didn't see it over the last 2 games. It certainly looked like the team had energy today.
Oh, yeah, the team today do pretty good job, you know. Got a lot of energy. Just go out there, play the game the right way. And like I said, everybody do something for the team, and that's why he win the ball game.
All right, great job, Michael. Good win for the Phils. Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. Maikel Franco will say goodbye to the Phillies and their fans and head out onto this road trip with everybody else after a 5-0 victory to wrap up this homestands.